In the same way that Stephen King's Misery played on the reality of an author being targeted by fans, John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness focuses on what happens when the author's work targets the fans. It's a film that takes significant influence from the maddening works of H.P. Lovecraft, the title itself being a jab at the author's novella of At the Mountains of Madness. Between drawing references to both King and Lovecraft, Carpenter almost goes as nutty with the material as the characters themselves. Sutter Kane, a horror writer, has gone missing. The last book he wrote before his disappearance was a bestseller that caused his readers to go mad. Insurance investigator John Trent, played by Sam Neill, is called in to investigate Kane's publishers of Arcane Publishing. While hearing about this case, he is attacked by Kane's former agent, who has gone insane and murdered his whole family after reading Kane's books. The agent's last words before being shot dead by police are asking if Trent has read Sutter Kane. Having never read his work, Trent figures he should probably start for this assignment. Trent meets the publishing director, played by Charlton Heston, and Kane's editor, Linda Stiles, played by Julie Carmen. He also reads Kane's books and discovers a clue in all of the covers, a series of red lines that, when combined, form a map of a New Hampshire town present in the novels. Both Trent and Linda venture off to the area and discover the village of Hobbs End, a fictional town from Kane's stories. That's pretty creepy, but even creepier is that the residents seem to resemble characters from the books as well, and it only gets crazier from here as Trent's initial skepticism about this all being a publicity stunt are proven wrong. Typical spooky town frights are abound, but what's scarier is how Trent slowly loses his grip on reality. He keeps seeing suicidal people, grotesque monsters, and ghoulish apparitions that are straight out of the books. Trent can also not leave town as he's continually transported back if he tries to escape. It wouldn't be a John Carpenter horror film without some surreal and twisted imagery, and there's a lot that this film has to offer. The monsters that pursue Trent are uniquely designed as a mess of claws, teeth, eyes, tentacles, and contorted limbs. The settings are genuinely strange and nightmarish, featuring a church that transforms into a watery tunnel that bridges fiction and reality. There's an exceptionally odd moment where Kane tears apart his face as though he were ripping a hole in a book. Carpenter always keeps our eyes peeled for how distorted Trent's reality becomes. Notice how each time he's transported back to Hobbs End, that his world gets much more blue. Sam Neill also throws everything he has into this role as a man slowly losing his sanity, making what I personally find to be one of his finest performances. Considering he's working with acting legends of David Warner and Charlton Heston, Neill holds his own pretty well here. For the many apocalyptic elements in the story, it has been considered the final film in Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy, the other movies in the trilogy being 1982's The Thing and 1987's Prince of Darkness. And while In the Mouth of Madness is not quite Carpenter at his best for all the jump scares and seemingly random monsters, it remains one of his more underrated works of psychological horror.